Hey everybody, Kyle here with the Country Carving channel. Today we're going to do a nice simple little golf ball carving. We're going to carve a flower in a golf ball. So here's an example of what we're going to carve. Give you a nice close-up here. So it will look a little bit different. We're probably going to have different coloration to the golf ball we'll end up carving. But should be fun, simple little carving. Probably only takes 15 or 20 minutes to do, and a good way to actually start in on golf ball carving. If you're curious as to how to open the golf ball, I did do an introduction to golf ball carving video a while back, and you'll be able to see how to open up a golf ball in there. I thought this would be a good place for a lot of people to start. I did do a video on how to carve a face in a golf ball, but that's obviously a lot more complex and takes a lot longer. So hopefully you like this content. One way to support the channel is to hit that like button. So please do that. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss another video. So with that, let's jump right in. Thanks everybody. Okay, we're all set up here. We've got a pink ball that when I cut it open, it's kind of a whitish color. So this will be our golf ball for today. So we'll jump right in here. First thing we'll do is just take off the top of the ball and allow for that flat space for us to work from. So, and you can do this just in small little pieces. So that's probably pretty good. So just to show you, we just took off the top of the ball, so it's really just nice and flat now, leaving a good chunk for us to work with and actually carve the flower out of this piece. Okay. So pretty simple so far. So step two, we're actually going to just draw on the flower with a pencil. So you can use the outside edges as a bit of a guide, and we're going to just draw a circle in the middle of that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it will be a good guide for us. So this is creating the center of the flower. And then next we're going to draw on the petals. And I am just doing this freehand. I'm sure you could make a template if you wanted to make a whole bunch of these. So nice big flowers. We want to space them out so it's about 5 petals. I did do one carving where it was 6, but the five petals looks the best. And so you'll just want to take and you'll do one petal, and then from there start down about 3/4 of the way to the middle of the circle, and then we'll just create another petal from there. Nice big petal, and just curve it around, and then we'll do the same thing 5 times. You want to get them pretty close to the same size, and the last one will just connect up that final space. Okay, so we want it to just look like that, and now we'll take our knife and we'll carve this out. So a couple ways to do this. One is to do a stop cut around the center circle, and carve that out to give you the middle rounded piece that we'll round out after. The other way is to actually take out these pieces on the edge that will actually form the shape of our petals. So you can really do either or first. I think what we'll do is we'll create the petals around the edge here first, and then we'll work our way in. So first up, we will want to use lots of stop cuts so you don't take away portions of the golf ball that you are intending to be parts of the flower. So we'll take and we'll do a stop cut in the V of any one of the petals around the edge. So we'll start here, and you could do this with gouges, that kind of thing, but I found this is a pretty simple way to do it. Let's just do a bit of a stop cut there, take the knife and go to the other edge, do the same. So we're really just going to take a V right out of this, and you'll see it'll just pop right out. And we'll shape the petals here as we go, but eventually we'll have a nice rounded edge here. But just to start, we're trying to just create a bit of a transition between the background and the actual flower petal. Okay, and really it's just keep that same action, doing a stop cut, and then cutting into that stop cut, and repeating that to just give more depth. So nothing too fancy here. Okay, so that's really all we're doing in that first cut, and we're actually just going to work our way around and do the exact same thing on each one of these points. So you can put the ball down if you want to do your stop cut, your initial one. You don't have to, you can hold the ball and do the same thing. Here it pop, and it'll just come right out. So what will end up happening is you've kind of got the V out of each side, and what you can do to just kind of create that rounded shape is end up taking off that top a little bit. You don't want to go too far because we want to kind of maximize the size of the golf ball, and then just come in and again take that undercut on your stop cut. And what we'll actually end up doing is coming in and doing some undercuts underneath the petal to really give it that nice shape. So now we've taken around the edges and just kind of repeated that process a few times. Now let's actually just carve out the right around this center part of the flower. So we're going to just take the knife. You want to go essentially straight in and just do a stop cut. Ideally, you'll just want to do this fairly deep and just do it once. Okay. Now, the one tricky part with carving golf balls is that stop cut closes right back up, so you can't actually see where your line is. So you have to kind of visualize where that line was and work with it. So you'll just put your knife in close to that, about a 45-degree angle, and you can kind of just work that around, and you'll see the edge start to come up. And so we'll kind of come back to this, but this will just give you that, it'll visually show you where your stop cut is, and as long as your stop cut went all the way around, you should be able to just pull that right out. So this center part's an important part for the flower, that we actually want to keep that depth, and so you don't want to carve away any more of that at this point. So we're actually trying to keep this whole, and then we'll actually round it off at the end. And so you can continue to just do stop cuts around that, because you want to keep that piece, right? And then you can kind of work it around again, just to really make sure that that's got a good stop cut. And then what I'm going to actually do is switch over to, I've got a pretty big, or a gouge here. It's a bit shallow, you can see. Just going to do a close up here. And it's a nice shape for these petals. So play around with your different tools and see what works for you. And what I like to do is just take it near the end of the petal, and you can just bring it right into that center. And that'll just pop out based on the stop cut that you just did. And so this is giving a bit of shape to the petals. And so just go around and do that for all of the different, all the petals right into that center piece. Don't worry too much about the connections between the petals. We'll work on that next. Okay. So that just kind of created some depth on the petals, and we and a little rough. So if you wanted to clean it up a little, try to take some of the ridges out, work it into the edge of the petal a little more. That's all things that you can kind of just play around with. So next, what we're going to do is just actually round off the center at this point. So to do that, excuse me, you'll start at one of the corner edges, and you'll just start to take off a little bit of that edge. And you're just taking that edge off. One key thing is to don't take away anything in the center, because what we'll do is we'll kind of work our way into this edge, and it'll give us a nice rounded look. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect at this point, but gives you a nice kind of round little center to the flower. So next what we're going to do is actually create the definition between the petals. So you'll see where the petals kind of overlap with each other. So we want this one to be lower than the one that's next to it. And so we'll just create that definition here within this flower. So how I like to do this is to follow the curve. You can draw in the lines if you want, but it's nice to follow the curve of the top part of the flower and curve it into the bottom. So I just take it right at that corner and then curve it right into the center. And then I come back and do a cut right into that stop cut that I just made. And this is the petal that's going to go underneath the petal to its left. And just do that stop cut in with the center of the flower, and that gives us a nice definition underneath this petal. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll just kind of keep going right around. So we'll take that curve and right into the center. Take a chunk out. Just want to show you kind of a close-up here of what that looks like. So when we take this edge out, it creates a nice shadowing into the flower there. repeat that on all the petals. We've got that definition now. You'll see. Now what I actually want to do is go back and do a bit of cleanup. So one thing that you'll want is to have an undercut. So underneath the petal, you actually want it to be angled in underneath, so that you, again, create that nice shading and illusion. Hopefully you can see it really creates a nice shadow as soon as you do that undercut. Okay, so we'll take this, the gouge again, and actually just kind of work that in again, just to give these a nice rounded look to them. Just a little bit, to shape them a bit. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So with the knife, again, you can just clean up where you need to. And then because you've been cutting into that center part of the flower, you'll likely want to go back and just soften up some of these straight lines that started to appear. So you can texture that I didn't on this one because it had nice little speckles. You could texture this middle piece. I'll show you on a one where I did. It was 6 petals around the outside, and I just used a little U-gouge to texture the center of the flower. But on this one, I think we're just going to leave it like this. The next step is to take a MicroV or I'll just show you here. This is just a little V tool. You could use any V tool that you have. You could even just do this with the knife. But to do three little lines within each petal. So we're not too worried if these petals aren't perfect, because this gives a nice texture to it anyways. So just straight 3 lines right into the center. And that, with your stop cut on the end, should usually pop out. If it doesn't, you can take your knife and just do another stop cut there. And that should just pop right out. And so we're gonna do 3 lines like that into each petal. And you can kind of do a little bit longer on the middle one. And then a little bit shorter on the other 2. Okay, and there you have it. You've got a pretty basic, simple little flower carving. I think it's a great way to start to try golf ball carving, and you can take it from there. You can obviously play around, do different things to get creative, try different flowers, and then obviously you can work your way into carving faces and things. So. One thing I like to do is to use what was the top of the ball as a stand. So you can drill a screw right through the bottom there, and it's a nice little stand for your flower. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is I'll put a little screw in the top here with an eyelet on it, and just use these as little ornaments. And then lastly, you can paint these obviously, and get creative with your painting abilities, and try lots of different colors and play away. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Fun, simple little golf ball carving, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you try it. Leave a comment in the description below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.